Welcome, guys. We're going live tonight. Advocates for Justice, Foreclosure Defense, Paralegal School. Yeah, we switched up from service to school because we teaching people up in here. Oh, somebody's texting me. Welcome to the stream tonight. Tonight we're going to talk about a couple of different things. First of all, we're going to talk about some updates to some of our programs. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about what to do if the clerk refuses to file your documents. Again, we're going to hit that again. And we're going to talk a little bit about my sister's case that was terminated. That's the one. Well, they still want a little more. So we're still going to be in the program here. We'll talk about that. And then we're going to talk about some of the things that we need to be doing differently when we're filing when you're filing your stuff. And I'm going to introduce you guys to the new non-judicial foreclosure defense lawsuit package. And I'm going to post a link here to that new package that we put together. Maybe. There we go. So you guys can go to that page and take a look how nice it looks, because it's beautiful. And at the end of the stream, I'm going to take a few questions. So you guys can ask me some questions if there's anybody that has any questions. I hope the questions are about how to turn their conventional or your conventional foreclosure into their conventional foreclosure into your non-conventional foreclosure, or at least how to switch over, use my documents or whatever in your case. I'm not an attorney, so I don't really discuss attorney stuff, and there's all the things that they do, except for what we need to learn how to do on the backside to smash them and keep them from violating us in court. So you guys thinking about your questions, make sure they're questions that, they have to do with the non-conventional program, or at least make sure they're questions that the majority of the people would like to know about. Hey, Yazral, welcome tonight, buddy. We're about to get started. So the first order of business before we get to all of that, I want you guys to click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on that bell so you get notifications when it's time for us to rock and roll, and make sure that you leave a comment, and make sure you also click on the ads. I need you guys to click on those ads so I can get paid for all this free information that I'm throwing down with on YouTube. So click on those ads. And last but not least, share my live stream, share my videos. Just throw them out there on your social media, and say, hey, if anybody needs something, this guy does a great job, or whatever. You don't have to tell people. I don't have to know that you're using me, or that you use me, or that you even know me. You can just tell them, hey, this guy makes it happen, helps you make it happen. And share that so I can get, because you never know who needs this kind of help that we provide. And a lot of people aren't really ready to tell everyone that they're having trouble getting their taxes paid, or that they're struggling with foreclosure issue. Those are very private and personal issues. And that's one of the things I tell people when, I have people always want to know how many people won the tax, how many people, dude, I'm not an attorney. I don't have anything to do with that. I'm an educator. I educate people, and stuff that I throw down on the table is fact and should win hands down, if not for the fraud or the fear. Okay. The fraud and the fear is what are the determining factors that interfere with people being successful in any program. And in my program, even more so, because they don't like it when you come to the table with stuff they don't want to talk about. So let's just get started. So we had a member that that was in our Facebook page just the other day that let us know that his wife went down to file their paperwork, and the clerk refused to file their documents because they have federal case law in them. And we talked about that in a couple of other videos. And so I want to just touch on that again. So for what I do, I always use federal case law in all of my stuff, even for the documents that you're going to be filing in state court. And there's no difference in using federal case law in state court than there is using Supreme Court case law in federal or state court. Now, the players don't like it, but they can't do anything about it because there is no, and I actually have the case law that supports the fact that you can file, and I posted it in the group that supports the fact that you can file federal case law in state court. You can file case law from the higher court in the lower court. Now, you can't file state case law in federal court. Don't go that way. And that's one of the good things that we have going on for us, because if you move their case from state court over to federal court because the court don't have jurisdiction and because they're a foreign agent, and the foreign agent must file their stuff in federal court for the court to have jurisdiction, yeah, there's a whole bunch of reasons why, and they're all listed in your documents. If you move their case from federal court, from state court over to federal court, they're going to have a problem because now they're going to have to redo everything. Yeah. And so that's one of the advantages that we have. But we do this because we can, and it causes a problem for them. When you file to, when you put federal case law in your state court claim, it trumps every damn they have on the table. So they have a problem with that, and that's why they don't like to use it. But nothing they can do about it. Now, you guys also need to remember when you go to file your documents and they're giving you a hard time, number one, you need to make sure you watch the instructional videos. And there's videos, there's at least two playlists in my YouTube channel. One is tips and strategies for being in court. There's one for controlling the attorneys. There's one for how to control the judge. There's a playlist for almost everything. Those playlists have the tips and strategies that you should be learning before you go to file your stuff, so you don't have to make another trip and climb uphill to force them to respect you. And we have it right in the video. So you guys should be watching those videos so you can learn these things that you need to know. So when they try to get in your face and tell you this stuff is, ain't right, you can tell them, hey, look, there's no difference in filing federal case law in state court than there is filing Supreme Court case law in federal or state court. And then you can show them. Now, the other thing that you can do too, and I suggest that you do this, is look up the state. Every state has a filing requirement statute. And if you look up that filing requirement statute and add it to the front page of your document so you can point it out to them when they get in your face with this nonsense, you'll have a better shot at making them sit down and shut up. The filing requirement statute is very liberal, and it does not mandate that you do all of this stuff that they're telling you that you have to do. No, it doesn't. Also, all of the players in court are supposed to be following the federal rules of civil procedure, right? Everybody's supposed to be following the federal rules of civil procedure, even everybody in state court. So why would they give you a hard time about filing? Yeah. So yeah, you see how they don't like that, but that's what we do. We do stuff they don't like. That's how we roll. So when you're filing your stuff, your case law, your federal case law in state courts, you need to be prepared. Look up the statute, the filing requirement statute, have it written down on your thing. Make sure you have that case law written down on there, and I'll leave it at the end of the thing. I'll leave the case law on the deal at the end so you guys can get it. If you don't find it in your documents, you can put it in your documents. I know it's in there somewhere. It's good to have so you can stick it right in their face. Oh, right here, here's the case law showing that I can do how, at the end of the day, welcome, Troy. At the end of the day, if the clerk is still giving you a hard time about filing your documents, what you need to do is ask for their supervisor. And when the supervisor comes, explain to the situation to the supervisor. I'm sure that usually they take your paperwork in the back and they already tell the supervisor. So when you're asking for the supervisor, more likely than not, the supervisor is already aware of the situation. And what you need to do is what I would do is I would look the supervisor right in the eye and I would ask the supervisor, my legal team would like to know if you have the authority to make a legal determination on my pleading. And then you just shut up and wait. You let them answer. It's like a car salesman. When you put the price down on the table, the first person that makes a sound is the one that's going to pay or the one that's going to need to get a new job because they didn't get the sale. That's how it goes. When you throw that on the table, you look them right in the eye and you tell them, I need to know, my legal team wants to know if you have the authority to make a legal determination on my pleading. Now, everyone has used that except maybe one person that I'm aware of, they got their stuff filed. And when you use that, you need to use it like you know what you're talking about. Okay, you can't be all mousy. You got to step up to the plate and like you know what you're talking about, and you ain't having it. That's the way you have to be with these clerks, or they're going to do whatever they can to get out of filing your stuff. And when you go in and talk to them about that, and you hit them up with that question, hey, do you have the authority to make a legal determination on my pleadings? That should be it, because they do not. And if they do say they do or refuse to, well, you already know that in my program, we're not going into court waiting for the judge to rule for us or asking the judge for anything or anybody else for anything. We don't go into court to be a defendant. We're done with that. When you go into court, you're going to be suing them for the problems, for the fraud they did that's causing you the problem that you have right now. So that's going to be a whole different program. You need to make sure that they're not turning you away with their nonsense. And you do that by doing your homework and make sure you understand what that filing statute requirement is. You make sure, oh, there's one other thing. So what are the local rules? If the federal rules of civil procedure is what everybody's supposed to be following, what the hell are the local rules? Well, the local rules are the rules that the attorneys came up with, the bar members came up with, the court came up with, and they actually help things proceed through the court faster. So you can just see how that works. Anytime things are going faster in the court, then you're getting the shaft. That's pretty much it. The local rules are for attorneys. They're not for you. You're not an attorney. You're not, and those local rules are not in harmony with the Constitution. So that's the problem too. So they're trying to get you to follow. And if you follow those rules, then you're going to have your due process right violated. Those rules violate your due process. And that new lawsuit package, the Eviction Stopper, I just left that name on it. The Eviction Stopper package is a jurisdiction challenge with a lawsuit, a jurisdiction challenge / lawsuit with an affidavit. And they can't respond by counter affidavit. So if they can't respond by counter affidavit, it's a wrap. It's a non-response. So you guys need to make sure that you're handling that as such. I've had a couple of people message me, hey, they didn't respond by counter affidavit. What am I supposed to do now? No, if they don't respond by counter affidavit, it's not a response. So, and the instruction video tells you exactly what you're supposed to do when they don't respond, because I already know they're not going to be able to respond. Yolanda, we're going to take a few questions at the end of the education period here, so you can save your question for then. If I stop now and do back and forth, I'm not going to get anything done. What action should you take? Well, Yolanda, you tell me what action you should take. See, I'm not here to tell people what to do, because some stuff you guys need to figure out what you need to be doing. A loan modification is nothing but a stall tactic that they use in a non-judicial situation to run your ass out of time. That's what they do with the look. Why would they want to do why would the lender want to help you after they've already done the foreclosure process, after already put the foreclosing process in? And yeah, and why would they want to help you? They're gonna make way more money taking all of your shit and being done with it. So I don't understand your question. Yeah, I wouldn't have wasted my time applying for a loan modification. So you need to go to my website, Yolanda, and take a look at the options that you have if you're in a judicial foreclosure or non-judicial foreclosure. Those are your two options. And if you wait, you're going to be in trouble. And I think there's going to be a lot of people in trouble because they think that there's a moratorium and they think all this stuff. And so when they get this stuff in the mail from the court, they just throw it on the table because they think everything's stopped. And I don't know if things are started or still stopped or whatever. But as a coach, I'm not sitting around waiting for things to stop or go or any of that. Because when you do that, you don't have control. You have no control. You're just reacting to what they're doing, and that's not going to help you. Hey Ken, welcome to the stream tonight, buddy. Welcome, Gerald. Well, you guys know where to find me. I'm always close. So let's get back on that. So when the clerk refused to file your documents, you guys have options. And if you've done your homework, you should have the options already laid out so that you can stick them right in the clerk's face. Because at the end of the day, they don't have authority to be doing none of that. All they're doing is trying to help. They're trying to help their attorney friend. Now, the second thing I'm going to talk about is update to my sister's case that was terminated. You guys know the one. Yeah. So the attorneys came back out of the woods and they filed over 240 pages. I'm not sure exactly how many pages of stuff after the termination, and they got the judge to order the sale. And my sister got a copy of the judge's ordering the sale, but they never sent her any of the 240 or 80 pages. I haven't had a chance to go through it yet. We just got the stuff in today. Yeah, so we went ahead and my sister actually suspended the lawsuit because they terminated the case and she was good with that. I wasn't, but she was. Yeah, well, now she's not and I'm not. So we both not. Two knots on the same page. So she went down and refiled her case against the Kansas Bar Association, against the judge and the investor attorney that came in after the other 8 attorneys went and sat the hell down. She served that attorney at his house and included his wife. And we did that because she claimed their property as assets, their assets as damages. Yeah. And boy, I'm just wondering how that conversation went when the attorney got home. What? We're getting sued for $20 million and she's suing the Bar Association and the law firm? Who are you going to get to represent you? Yeah, he's going to have to find somebody to represent him. And you know what? They have a hard time finding somebody to represent them that's doing the same thing, because we will take the fact that they're doing the same thing and shove it right down there in their face. Clean that up. Yeah. They'll shove it right in their face. So pretty much if you do the strategies that I have laid out, you're going to be backing the attorneys in the corner and loopholing them. That's what I call it. You're going to loophole them. And what that means is you're going to use a loophole in their stuff to back their butt against the wall. Yep, that's how we do it over here. So a couple of other things that we've learned with that. with the situation going on with my sister's case. And believe me, we're going to get that handled because they already. Oh, I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show you guys a copy of. Let me do a screen share, and I'm going to show you guys the last page of the docket sheet, so you can see all the stuff that we didn't get. That we got. Well, we got it now. Yeah, after the judge made the order. Well, that order ain't gonna stand. You got to be kidding me. I think what they're trying to do is trying to sneak it through, so they can get it. But see, that ain't going to work so well here because in Kansas is a redemption state, so you have 1 year to redeem your property. So they're not going to be able to do like they do in the judicial states where we just need to get the sale, get the eviction set up, and install everything until the sheriff shows up to kick them out. So that don't work in a judicial state where everything's already in court and there's a redemption period. So we got up to a year to get the property back. Well, I'm pretty sure it ain't gonna take a year, and they haven't sold it yet. So we already filed a lawsuit to contact the sheriff department and let everybody know that there's some kind of a problem here. So you can look at this and you can see the order, the sale was canceled several times. And then the motion to cancel, I don't know who put this motion in to cancel the sheriff's sale. It wasn't us. We didn't even know there was going to be a sale or that they moved to get a sale. We were sitting over here, with the case terminated. So what that tells me is that you guys, when you get the Mexican standoff and you get them backed up against the wall, you need to be paying attention. Number one, you need to be paying attention every couple, 2-3 weeks. You need to make sure you check that docket sheet, see if anything's been added to the case. And number two, we need to be, if the judge recuses themselves, you still need to move to have the case dismissed with prejudice. That's I think would be the best course of action, to have the case dismissed with prejudice. Now, if you do this right and you object, motion reconsideration, object to the state judge's BS, sue the state judge, and then file your claim against the state judge, then it shouldn't be that complicated to get the injunction and restraining order from the federal court when you file your federal lawsuit, and then you use all of that mess from state court to show that the court didn't have jurisdiction. You're going to turn this from their banking fraud into the fact that they don't have jurisdiction to do none of this stuff, and they violated your due process rights by taking jurisdiction without legal authority. That's what you're going to turn this into. And you're going to use everything that you filed in state court, or all the stuff that you're doing. That stuff's going to be used as evidence in federal court when you file your title dispute. And your title dispute is what you need to have on the record to block the eviction process, or you need to sue the eviction judge. We have two options now. Yeah, we learned how to cut to the chase. But you can see here, this don't even make sense. And I didn't have a chance to go over all of the stuff yet, but you can just see from here that none of this is making any sense. So when I have a chance to go through it tomorrow, we're going to figure it out. We're going to move to object. We're going to object and move to vacate the sale order. And then we're going to demand that they dismiss this with prejudice and stop playing around before they piss me off. Now, I want you guys to remember the way my program works. The best way that this works is if you get in my program and you get your paperwork filed or whatever, and you get something from the court, it's a good idea not to contact me the same day that you get stuff from the court. You don't need to contact me when you're breathing in the back. Yeah, because that doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. There's not much value in the conversation while you're breathing in the bag. Okay, you need to get the fear under control and figure out what you. Okay, so wait, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do. What you need to do is when you get something in the mail, then you need to research it. You need to read it a couple of times. You need to look up any words, Google any words that you don't understand. Google the document and see what other people, you need to spend time on Google learning what it is, what they're trying to do. And then when you figure that out, you can figure out what your game plan is going to be for it. Once you do those couple of things, then you can contact me in a message on Facebook or in Messenger and say, hey, this is what they sent me, and give me the title of what they sent you. You don't need to go into all of that, because with just the title, I'm pretty sure I understand what it is. This is what they sent me, blah, blah, blah. The title, we'll just call it the unlawful detainer. And this is what, so I researched it, and this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to kick me off my property. And this is what I think I need to do to defend myself. Now, when you come to the table with that, that has a lot more value to me than it does when you come to the table and say, the judge sent me an order and denied my stuff. What do I do? Well, I don't have time to go do all of that. It would take like a day. So when you go through these steps and you come to the table, after you've done your research and put together your game plan, and now I can look at what you've written, I can look at the title of what it was they sent you, and then I can see the overview of your game plan. And now I have an idea where you are, how much you understand. I have an idea where I need to go to help coach you to make sure that things work out well. If you don't watch the instructional video, I don't have time to start from the gate with everything. And that's why I ask, when you contact me, when you message me, the first thing I'm going to ask, hey, did you watch the instructional video? And some people get pissed off. I don't really care. Okay, because I have people like this person, they go down and they file stuff in a hurry because they think they got to hurry. Well, you don't have to hurry. You don't have to hurry if you got the fire. Okay, you just need to make sure it's burning and hot. So they try to hurry and they don't watch the video. And then when they get down there, they find out that these people are lying to them and telling them they can't file your stuff. And I had them tell one lady they wouldn't file her stuff because she had the attorney listed as an everyone defendant. Well, that should be an easy one if you've done your homework. Well, I've added a copy of the lawsuit that they filed against me. See right here. And the attorney is the only name signed on it. But she didn't do her homework. So then she left, and she came back and she got in the group and started having people in the group. Well, she was a little more rude about it. And she kind of got in the group and said, well, they told me my documents were crap and were shit. And, and so it's people in the group like, did you watch the instructional video? She never could answer them. And of course, that's the first thing I said. So anyway, that kind of gives you an idea how that went. You got to watch the instructional video. You would be surprised at how much information is in the instructional video that's going to help you out. And I'm telling you, the goal is to make them go sit down, not to wait for the judge or any of that. The goal is to make them go sit down. And you do that by facts. I had someone ask me, well, does it have case law or whatever? Well, you know what? If you got the facts right, we ain't going to get to the case law. Steve, you already know about this, man. You're asking me this question. I don't know I'm not connected with anybody or any of those people. And most paralegals work like attorneys. I'm the only one that I know. Well, I take that back. I have a couple that is in the program I have a couple of paralegals in the program that got in the program and are taking my online course so they can actually do this. But no, I don't recommend. If you don't do it yourself, man, you might as well just go and pack your stuff in the storage. I'm just telling you, it's not that complicated. Most of the time, people can't do it themselves because they don't allow the time that's needed. And when you rely on other people, it becomes a problem. And I tell people all the time, okay, for people that want to hire an attorney or whatever, I'm like, dude, you can mess up your case yourself. You don't need to pay someone to screw up your case. I'm just saying. What's up, NYX Capital? Hope you're doing great tonight. So let's get back on the program here. So we need to make sure that if you have them in the Mexican standoff with my stuff, that you're keeping an eye on that docket sheet. And then we also need to make sure that we're filing to have stuff dismissed with prejudice or a restraining order to block them from coming back. So we're not having to keep dealing with this crap. We're figuring out how to wrap it up, how to cut to the chase. And I'm going to keep you guys updated on how this goes. I think what I'm going to do, and I haven't looked at the other paperwork at the new documents that was filed yet to figure out exactly what's going on. But I think I'm going to use I put together, I think I'll give you guys, I put together a really cool 42 USC 1983 civil rights lawsuit package. And I structured this package to be used for foreclosure defense. And it's pretty cool. And this is something that's new. No one's doing this. So this is going to take your foreclosure defense into a totally new highway, because now you're arguing them violating you in court as opposed to arguing their fraudulent banking fraud. So this is it, and it's pretty stinking cool. Uh-oh. Show the error. We're going to try it again. There it goes. So you guys can click on that and take a look at that. That's one of the new things that I put together. Uh-oh. Yeah, another one. So that makes it a little bit easier to understand what you're doing. You're not addressing, I mean, yeah, you're pretty much suing them for the violating your due process and your civil rights with their court proceedings and rules. Yep. So now this whole thing is taking a different turn. And that's how we like to do it over here. And I'm also going to leave you guys a link to the brand new package that I put together for non-judicial foreclosures package and web page. And it came out really nice. And here's the link to that. So you guys go click on it and share these links on your media for me, please, so other people can see them. So they can see that they have a chance if they want to kick some butt, some attorney butt. Okay, just checking things over. I got a few people commenting on there from Facebook. So when you guys come to StreamYard, if you're from Facebook, you need to click on that link and give StreamYard permission to use your Facebook name. Let's see, I'll put that link back up for you. There you go. Oops, that's not the link. What happened to the link? Okay, here we go. There's the right one. Okay, so we're almost to the end here. So any of you guys, you can ask me your questions now. Yolanda, I think I answered yours. If you guys have any questions, you can type them in now. We'll answer a couple of questions. And I think we're going to call it a day. So when you guys are facing the non-judicial foreclosure process, that whole process is done without due process. And I can't believe they get away with it. In my opinion, based off of what I had to study to figure out how to structure the lawsuit to stop this, in my opinion, the non-judicial process was put on the books for attorneys to have a way to process a property when the homeowner just packed up and left. And then they figured out that homeowners that we don't know anything and they can do whatever they want. And that's pretty much what they're doing. And the Constitution mandates, both the state and federal Constitution mandates, that you're supposed to have due process before they take your stuff. Due process of law, I think, is how it states. So there's no way that this non-judicial process should be taking place. But the attorneys are all bar members. Everybody's a bar member involved in it, including the clerk and all of those people, and or future bar members, and they go along with the scam. So Yazarel said, let's put his question on the screen. The judge tried to claim he has jurisdiction because I am in his court after I filed jurisdictional challenge and motion to moot in my property tax lawsuit in Chicago. So Israel, you can't challenge jurisdiction if you're the plaintiff. So if you file something in court, you can't challenge the jurisdiction. You can challenge the jurisdiction of the state court process. Is that what you're talking about here? If you're talking about the judge said he has jurisdiction over the state court process, then he doesn't. And you have 12 pages of, I think it's 12 or 15 pages in that document of challenging jurisdiction showing that he doesn't. So at the end of the day, in state court, any attorney that files something in state court is filing in the wrong court, because the attorney is a foreign agent. And foreign agents, a state court does not have jurisdiction to hear a dispute between a foreign agent and a state citizen. You can't even sue someone from another state in state court. If you sue one from another state in the state court, they'll need to be moved over to federal court. So that's something that you can use right off the gate. And attorneys, they file a notice of appearance because they're a foreign agent. And these foreign agents are supposed to be registered with the National Attorney General, as according to the Foreign Agent Registration Act of 1938. And they're supposed to have all this paperwork and stuff filled out so you can go to their office and inspect it, but none of them do. And the Foreign Agent Registration Act of 1938 is a federal law. And all of these fools are supposed to be signed up, and they are not. And that's one of the things that we use. Now, the other thing that we use to stick in their face is the fact that, and this can be used to challenge any court process. The fact that the court is in violation of the Administrative Procedures Act of 1946, which also is a federal law that mandates that these corporations are supposed to have their rules and policies in harmony with the Constitution, and they don't. And when you sue them for that, your goal is to force them to do that. Now, when you're suing for that, it's administrative, so you can't get money for it. So you want to add in your Constitution and rights violation, due process violation, or whatever to get your $20 million that you're going to that you're going to be asking for. And I'll tell you right now, the Administrative Procedures Act is a pretty serious stinking thing. It's pretty badass, and they do not want to they don't want to mess with it. And what I tell people is, if I file a lawsuit against somebody, I'm going to demand to have control their corporate charter as part of my damage. I want their corporate charter. If you sue them for their corporate charter, then you will have access as a board member. Yeah, you will have access and a seat on the board of directors, so you can help make sure that their policies and procedures don't screw other people over. Yeah, you can do that. The consultant. Yeah, that's where what we're finding the consultant is that we have to stop the state court process first, because when we bring the fire to the table that I put together for these people, then what happens is they call over and they start stalling. One court will call the other court, and it's pretty obvious that they're doing it, and then they'll start stalling. Oh, we had COVID. The judge died. I don't know. They just come up with all these excuses to get out of while they're trying to hurry up the eviction process and get the sheriff over there to throw you out, because they know that if they can stall long enough to get the eviction process done, you won't have a bunch of fight left because you're going to be trying to protect your stuff. And the way we do things, when you file your lawsuit in state court to get control of the state court process, what you should do is object to the judge's judgment or whatever, or you can even attack the judge at the gate for violation of Administrative Procedures Act and violating a couple of things before you even have a hearing. But what we'd like to do, we'd like to go in and we attack the judge, we sue the judge, and then we recuse the judge. And then we dare any more judges to step up. And if some other judges does to step up, then that's fine. You can do the same thing to them. Or what I would do is just, and I've done this before with two $10 seatbelt tickets, I would just object to any other judges hearing the case on a state level, because you're not going to get a fair shot if you're suing a state court judge with his buddy over there sitting. Yeah, that's not going to work. So what you can do is use if you get the wrongful foreclosure lawsuit package, is judicial or non-judicial, you can use the removal document in there to remove that crap over to state court, because of the fact you're not going to get a fair shake in the interest of justice because you're suing the state court judge. That's what I did. And when I did that, they had to accept my stuff in federal court, and I didn't have to pay the $400 fee. Yeah, all these things that I'm showing you guys is the most of this stuff I've done or help people do. And I know what you're thinking. Well, how'd that those two $10 seatbelt tickets work out? Well, they called me a year and a few months later from the judge's office, wanting to know what it was I wanted, how we can settle this. So my first response was, well, I'm assuming the 5.5 million's off the table. Why would you wait for a response? The judge don't have jurisdiction to be even in your face, man. Oh, look at you go. Thanks, consultant. I appreciate that. Huh. Now that's pretty cool. Y'all see that? Yeah, I spent a lot of time figuring out the loopholes in the system. And yeah, they attacked me a few years back. I didn't learn what I know now fast enough. So this is my therapy, helping other people figure out how to smash somebody in the face. And if you know me, you know I love my job. Hey, Jim, welcome. So that's about all the value I got for you guys tonight. What I want to tell you is uh, if you're facing eviction process, that eviction stopper, and if you have done this, you can use that eviction stopper package that I have on my website for 150 stinking dollars. You can use that to block the eviction process. You can turn that into what you need to attack the judge to stop the foreclosure process. You can use that $150 document to do a lot of stuff. Private remedy. Yeah, that's what's happening, man. Because when you get into uh, the fraud thing they got going on, you don't really have no kind of a chance because they structured that up to throw people clean under the bus, and people don't even realize they're getting thrown under the bus, and they're paying to get thrown under the bus. Most people don't realize that the number one mistake that most homeowners make in foreclosure defense is thinking that the lender is the one foreclosing. And if you're in a judicial foreclosure, you could check the stinking lawsuit, the claim, the complaint, or whatever they served you. You'll see that there's only one signature on the last page, and that's the attorney's. And in non-judicial, it's the notice of default letter. It's signed by an attorney. None of that stuff is signed by the trustee, or none of that signed by an attorney. People don't understand that these corporations do a charge off. They have a charge off process that they do, and GAAP accounting principles do not have any additional entries for additional income for after the charge off is done. When the charge off, you claim it on your taxes, write off the insurance, and that's supposed to be it. But no, then they sell it to these fools who come after people lying to the court like they were our injured party when there's no injured party. So I'm going to put a link to, well, actually, that lawsuit package is on my website. At winningcourtnow.com. And I have a lot of my stuff on Samcart, which is the other link that I sent you guys, because I can put a lot of videos on that site without it slowing down the load speed, the load time. So I can't put those videos on my website, but I can certainly put them on Samcart. And then you guys can, when you go to the Samcart offer, I have the instructional videos right in the page and a couple other videos right in the page. So you guys can check all of those out. Now, I had a couple of people, I had a couple of people bitching at me on my YouTube channel. And these are property investors who were grumpy because I was showing people how to clog up the court system to block the eviction process. That's what I teach people how to do. You're never going to win in court and have the judge rule. Well, you may if you, but a better plan is to force them to sit down and shut the hell up. That's what we do. We go in with stuff they don't want to talk about. We hold the people accountable using the loopholes to clog up the program. You clog up the program, man, when the doors open up, there's going to be so many people giving up. They're not going to have time for the people that are fighting and kicking their butt. They're not going to have time for that. And the people that are starting now, are the ones that are going to be doing well later. The people that sit back, oh well, there's a moratorium now. Okay, well you go sit down. You're not a good candidate for my program, because go sit down over there, and you might want to pack your stuff. I'm just saying. So that's all I got for you guys tonight. The value on the table. I appreciate you guys, the opportunity to share your time. Thank you, Yazirao. I appreciate that. And you know what I tell people when I talk to them, right before they get in the program, I'll tell you right up front, you're going to learn how to. I'm going to show you how to have some fun. Okay, you've been struggling and getting your butt and getting punched in the face too much. So now it's time to learn how to have some fun. And one one day I was sitting here working at my desk, and my wife walked in and she kind of caught me. I was in a staring moment. She's like, "What are you thinking about?" "Oh, never mind." She's like, "No, what are you thinking about?" "Well, I'm thinking that my program's working out really cool." So, "Well, why so?" "Well, I just got done talking to Erica from Alaska, and she was in an HOA situation, and when she contacted me, they had already gave her the 10-day count on the eviction process. She's still in her house. Yeah, she blocked the eviction process, and she was letting me know that she's still in her house and they don't want to mess with her. One judge recused himself, and she's going after the other one." Yeah. So I was pretty proud. I was reading that and I was like, "This is really cool." And I was like, "Well, what?" I said, "Well, I got nice white girls in my program kicking these people's butt." Okay. And one of the things I asked her, "So are you having fun?" She's like, "Dude, I'm past that. I was having fun a long time ago." So I think it's pretty powerful to go through this process in the beginning, and then obviously you don't have a chance, and then all of a sudden you have a chance. And that's what I tell people always. Well, how many wins? I'm like, dude, it's not about wins, okay? Because the differences here, from one person's fear to the next person, could be the difference in whether or not my program's successful to you. Now, if it's not successful because of your fear, I shouldn't take the hit for that. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. So it depends on if you got the guts to step up to the plate and take care of business. And then if you do, then we'll figure out a way. Working together as a group, I communicate with people from all across the United States. I'm talking from California all the way to New York. I'm not kidding. I have a private group with, like, I think we have 602 people in the Foreclosure Rescue Group, which is the group that the people that are using the lawsuit packages are in. And then I have a online course group for the people that are in the online course. I have entrepreneurs and property investors who are enrolled in the online course. I think I have 72 people enrolled in the course to date. And I have a new course now. I put together the non-judicial online course, and I don't have it posted on my website yet. But if you're interested in that, you can send me a link, and hopefully in the next couple of days, I'll get it posted on there. And this is the new package that I put together. For non-judicial. And I actually have the non-judicial course also. And I'm going to leave you guys a link to that. I'm really proud of my online courses. They're $2,400. I have them on sale half price right now for $1,200. And I'd like to leave it there for the next 10 or 15 people. And then once I get those people, because I need to get some more reviews on this. And once I get to that, I'm probably going to put the course, maybe I'll leave it there. It depends. Right now it's on sale, and it's a good time for anybody that's interested in becoming a paralegal, entrepreneur, if you got real property that you need to protect, this online course is the bomb, and it is not the same as the lawsuit packages. So I'm going to tell you that right now. The online course is beefed up. I stepped up. And I have a couple of reviews for the online course. Now, you guys got to remember, most people aren't really excited to leave a review on Google that they are behind on their property tax or that they're behind on their illegal mortgage loan. So I don't always get opportunity to get those, reviews like people get when you buy something and you get a thing. But I don't really worry about that too much because my program is not for everybody. And for the people who are sitting around waiting for somebody else to to show them that it works, those people should start packing. So I can't really help them. Richard says I kicked out and banned, lost my home. Until you sign a contingency fee-based contract. Dude, if the lawyer takes your case, he's going to throw you under the bus in the end anyway. People don't understand that if you hire an attorney to help you with foreclosure, that attorney is going to get a cut of what they steal from you for throwing you under the bus in the end, plus what you paid them for the fake help. That's how that goes. Attorneys are not going to go after each other. So they're not going to go after each other. So that's and what do I mean? What I mean is if you check the document that they use to initiate the foreclosure against your property, you'll find that it's only signed by the attorney, not the lender, not anybody from the bank. It's signed by the attorney. The attorney is the one that's trying to steal your property. And they're not going to go after each other. So what the new attorney that you hire is going to do is run interference and make you think that this and that, and then in the end, they're going to throw you under the bus. Yolanda, you're interested in being a paralegal? You should click on the link and watch the video for the online course. Now, I have online course for judicial and non-judicial, and if you invest in the course as a paralegal, I will provide both courses. I will enroll you in both courses for one money. That's how serious I am about this. I'll enroll you in both courses for one money if you decide to do that. Because you're going to need to know both so that you can work with people from all different states like I'm doing. My ad on Google AdWords goes to all 51 states or 52, wherever how many states we have. We might have lost a couple in the ocean somewhere. So if that's something you're interested in, when you get in my online course, you will have everything that you need to help people with foreclosure defense. You will have the videos, you will have all of the documents. Actually, you'll have different documents. And I don't have a single person that I'm aware of in my online course that got in the course and had to pack their stuff. So actually, I don't have too many people having to pack their stuff anyway, unless they combined my stuff with the garbage they were already working with. A few of those people got themselves in trouble. And you can't do that because their program is structured for arguing. And when the arguing's done, their judge buddy gets to help them. It's pretty simple. So we go to the table with stuff they don't want to argue about. So we don't have to worry about that situation. They don't want to argue about it, and they ain't trying to land on, yeah, that's how we do that. So you can send me an email, Yolanda, if you have any more questions about after you go and take a look at the online course. And I have instructional videos for all of the stuff. You guys should go to my YouTube channel and search for the instructional video playlist. And in the instructional video playlist, I have all of the videos connected to the lawsuit pages that I have listed on my website. Now, when you guys are on my YouTube channel, the first half of the title and my of the title of my video is what I need for YouTube to rank my video and show my video. The second part of the title is what you're going there for. So once you figure that out, I think it's a little easier to figure out what you need to watch and what you don't need to watch. Everybody should be watching all of the stuff on jurisdiction, the updated stuff on jurisdiction. You should be watching all of the tips and strategy videos, because those are the videos that and that you're going to learn how the little things that they're going to try and get away with when you show up with your stuff in the tips and strategy videos. I think I have playlists. I think I have 2 playlists for tips and strategy videos, and probably 12 or 14 videos in them or something. I don't know. So you guys can go and check that out. And if you guys are interested in the Eviction Stopper, it's on my website for $150. You can't beat that. You cannot beat that for $150. And it's a $700 package that I just marked down to $150. I used a lawsuit in that package to stop my sister's foreclosure. And so I put that together to give people struggling with eviction. Well, actually, I did it for foreclosure eviction. But the principle that we use is actually attacking the court process. So you can use it for any state court process. I don't care if it's an eviction, a code enforcement, if it's criminal, it doesn't matter. It does not matter, because you're attacking the judge to stop the process. You're challenging the court and attacking the judge to stop the process. So I had several people that left me really nasty comments that were property owners, I guess, and renters, and they couldn't get the renters kicked out of their house, and they were mad because I put this package together that people can use to block the eviction process. And one lady wanted me to put something together for her to kick the renters out. So I told her, no, thank you. I'm not interested in that. I'm not an attorney. I don't play both sides of the fence. Okay. I'm on one side, the side that's helping the people like me. It's too bad that they ended up there, but if she does her homework, she can get in my stuff and it's posted on the internet and do whatever she wants. If she can figure out how to do it. But I don't have coaching to help people do stuff that I don't walk on both sides of the fence, because when you walk on that fence, sooner or later you trip. And if you're straddled halfway over the fence, one leg's over here and one leg's over here. Okay, you got the picture, right? No, that's not what I do. I don't do both sides of the fence, because it's not about the money. Now, with that said, I like to eat. Okay. And yeah, expensive food. No, I like to eat good food. It just happens to be expensive. Okay. So with that said, I like to eat. So, it's a little bit about, but no, it's not, the money's not the main thing. If it was, then I'd be acting like an attorney and throwing everybody under the bus. My goal is to get my YouTube channel jamming so that I'm making my tons of money from the ads on there, where I can reduce my prices and help people out without having to have them pull out the rest of the money in their wallet to save their house, because these people are trying to illegally steal it. So, Gerald, you can email me anytime if you got a question, or you message me on Facebook. Messaging me on Facebook or talking to me and tagging me in the group is the best way, because then I can get to it when I can. I prefer people to email me if you have a question, or message me on Facebook, or friend me on Facebook so that you can talk to me on Messenger. I prefer all of that over phone calls, because my phone rings a lot And sometimes I get 4 or 5 spam calls a day, in addition to the other calls of people needing help. So, and it's a lot easier for me to send you a message on Messenger than it is for me to type on my phone, because my hand's really big. So it don't work out too well sending text message when you have really big hands. So thank you guys. And I'm going to let you guys go get another beer out of the refrigerator or whatever it is you're sipping on. I mean, another cup of water. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Good night.